god, I must be so unattractive if he doesn't like me back. Like, oh my god, what's wrong with me?
You probably saw the title of this video and thought to yourself, isn't the whole point of decentering men not caring about how men perceive us? Doesn't this contradict itself? Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't seen me here before, my name is Shirley. I majored in clinical psychology, now working in fashion. I help women become the very best versions of themselves in every single aspect of life. You guys know that friend who every single time you talk to her, she always seems to be dealing with some sort of boy drama, and she always seems to be hyperventilating about some issues that have to do with men. If you don't know anyone like that, you're either super lucky and your social circle, everyone in it is just super evolved and they're all girl bossing, or you are that girl. In this video, I'm going to talk about boy crazy girls, why you are boy crazy, and how decentering men will make you that much more desirable. So if you want to know how to do that, then you better keep watching. Are you a boy crazy girl? What even is a boy crazy girl? After a quick Google search, Urban Dictionary has defined a boy crazy girl as someone who is overly concerned with having the reputation of being found attractive by boys. Someone who is boy crazy doesn't necessarily hook up with a lot of guys and might not be sexually active, but she incessantly talks about how cute boys are, or that time that cute boy smiled at her. She cannot decide which cute boy she likes. Can also be the sort of girl who always has a boyfriend, less because she feels a special connection with any of her boyfriends and more because she feels incomplete without one. Now, I think that that's a really good definition, and I think that it pretty much captures the entire essence of what a boy crazy girl is. Reading the definition here, semantically, it basically is synonymous with having men as the center of their universe, doing everything they can to get male validation, and basically having their entire lives revolved around male validation, how to get men to perceive them as attractive. After doing a little bit of research on Google and also observing different people in my personal life, I have kind of categorized boy crazy girls into 3 different archetypes. I'm gonna be looking at my notes when I talk about this, so if I look down there, that's why. But the first type of boy crazy girls, the first archetype, I call this the general boy crazy, and it's as the name suggests, like they're just, you know, this type of boy crazy girls, they're just generally boy crazy. They show a persistent pattern of dressing for the male gaze, and they're always very preoccupied with how men view them and how men perceive them. They're generally just very preoccupied with whether men perceive them as attractive or desirable, and if someone they found really attractive did not find them attractive or was not interested in them, instantly it will ruin their entire day. Or if the guy that they're interested in did not text them back, it will literally instantly ruin their day and how they think about themselves.
Oh my god, I must be so unattractive if he doesn't like me back. Like, oh my god, what's wrong with me?
You know, that sort of thing. A very large part of their internal world is literally dependent on whether a male figure is validating them or not. And how they think about themselves as well, that's also largely dependent on how a man is interacting with them. Sometimes, very sadly, this girl would sacrifice or compromise her own standards, values, or boundaries just to please a man or keep a man in their lives. Obviously, we would all feel a bit upset if someone that we are interested in isn't interested in us back. That's completely normal. What's different here is the response to men not validating them. If you compare a person who is not boy crazy and if a person who is boy crazy, the response to a man not validating them would be drastically different. The second type of boy crazy girls are the pick-mes. So you guys have heard of it. I think that this is just the way worse version of the general boy crazy girl, because this girl will go so far and beyond to please a man, and sometimes it is at the expense of another woman, and sometimes her actions put another woman in dangerous situations that she does not want to be in. Or this can come in the form of talking negatively about other women to make themselves seem better in front of another male. So an example for this is, I'm sure you guys have heard of this girl just saying,
oh my god, like I hate wearing makeup. Like I don't understand why women wear makeup. Like it makes them look so fake and stuff.
Things like that, you know, just putting down the things that other women are doing and putting them down so that they can seem better to seek male validation or seek male approval. Other examples of pick-me behavior is like talking shit about other girls in front of men, ditching their girlfriends on vacation to sleep or hook up with a man, leaving their girlfriends all alone in a foreign country. Generally, the pick-me girl is just kind of like the worst girl that you can be friends with because she doesn't really care about you. Like, you are here to validate her. She's going to use you so that she can put you down to seem like she is better in front of men. She doesn't actually care about you. All she cares about is whether men are giving her approval, whether men are giving her validation, or whether men find her attractive or not, because that's kind of all she cares about. The third archetype of the boy crazy girl is the relationship hopper. I'm pretty sure you know someone who was like this, because I definitely do. This girl, she might not even be a bad person. She's probably a really nice person, but this girl just never seems to be by herself. Like, she never seems to be alone or single. She's always in some sort of relationship. She always has a boyfriend. She's the type of girl where literally 3 days after she breaks up with a 2-year-long relationship, 3 days later, she would be in yet another relationship. This is the type of girl that you don't really spend that much time with because she chooses to spend basically most of her time with her boyfriend or whoever she is dating. Basically, this girl spends most of her time either doing things for or with her boyfriend. She tends to be that person who generally is not very reflective of her own experiences. She tends to just jump into another relationship with another person without thinking about the things that she has learned from her previous relationship. That's the person she is. Like, she just prioritizes romantic relationships a lot over her other relationships and her other hobbies in life. So basically, her entire life is mostly revolved around her romantic relationship and how her romantic relationship is going. Now, because I'm a psychology major, I always tell people that you cannot know the how before you know the why. So let's talk about where this boy craziness is stemming from and how we can use our knowledge to decenter men and elevate ourselves. Unstable or weak self-concept. If you guys don't know what a self-concept is, it's basically a set of beliefs, feelings, and thoughts that one has about themselves. A person with a very strong and stable self-concept is always very clear and sure about their preferences on different aspects of life. They know who they are, they accept themselves for who they are, and they know what they're looking for. External things that happen around them don't tend to change the way that they see themselves. Boy crazy girls, they tend to have weaker or more unstable self-concepts. So when things don't go their way, if a guy isn't interested in them, it will make them feel very upset. It will literally ruin their day and shatter their self-identity. Like, how they view themselves would literally change based on how a man is interacting with them. They don't have a strong and stable self-concept, so they don't even know themselves. They don't know what they're looking for. They don't know what their values are. They don't have a very strong sense of that, which is why they tend to compromise their boundaries or standards or values for male validation. Another really interesting thing is that when people don't have a very strong sense of self-concept, they don't usually have any hobbies. Most of the time, because they don't have a very strong sense of self-concept, they don't know what they actually like as a person, and therefore they don't have a lot of hobbies. And when they don't have an enriched inner life or an enriched life in general, they don't have anything to focus on, and all they focus on is men and gaining male validation, literally because they have nothing else to do. Obviously, this doesn't apply to every single boy crazy girl out there, because some other boy craziness stem from insecurity. But from what I have observed in my personal life, a large proportion of a boy craziness stem from not having an enriched inner life, like not having hobbies, not having things that they're interested in. And it literally leaves them with nothing else to focus on other than male validation. So if you think that you might be slightly boy crazy, and if you want to rectify that, you need to be doing a lot of self-reflection and a lot of introspection. And what I mean by that is that you need to be doing a lot of self-reflection and start to brainstorm and develop your own set of values and boundaries and values that you will not compromise on. Literally, you could do that by writing them down on a piece of paper. Like, this is who I am as a person. I don't think I like that. I don't think I want people around me to do that to me. Like literally writing them down on a piece of paper can reaffirm and strengthen your sense of self-concept. If you don't even know yourselves or understand who you are as a person and know what you believe in and know what your values are, how on earth are you supposed to know what not to accept and what to accept when you do eventually get into a relationship? Really ask yourself, and even write this down if you want, why does the opinion of this man affect me so much? Where is this stemming from? Is this stemming from an insecurity that I've had for a long time? Does this stem from my childhood? Let me tell you guys, nobody wants to be near someone who isn't interested in anything or who isn't passionate about anything in life. Really ask yourself, what do I want in life? What is something that I've always wanted to try but have never done? Guys, literally, the world is your oyster. There are about 1 trillion things you can be learning and doing doing on this earth? Do you really want to leave this earth knowing that you haven't experienced one single thing? You need to be having your own interests and your own hobbies, because a person without any hobbies, a person without any interests is boring. To be interesting, you need to be interested. And I feel like this is not just for women, like it's for everyone. If someone has a lot of interests and has a lot of hobbies, it makes them way more desirable and attractive, because you can just tell they have a very enriched inner life. There's a lot going on in their head, and they have a very enriched life in general, and their lives are not centered around romantic relationships. Decentering men is not about not caring about what men think of you, full stop. It's more about putting men and the focus and emphasis on romantic relationship way lower on your priority list, so your entire life isn't centered around romantic relationships. The second reason for boy craziness is that boy crazy girls, they don't understand how to compartmentalize their needs and how they will be met by different people. It is not a healthy thing to expect one single person in your life to fulfill every single one of your needs. This is why we have communities. Like, this is why we have school friends, work colleagues, friends that you do your hobbies with. Different people in your life serve different purposes. They all differ in how they meet your needs. You really need to be diversifying the different types of people in your life and how they will meet your needs in different ways. You need to be making friends, you need to be expanding your social circle. I need to tell you guys about the boat diagram, but basically it's a metaphor that's really commonly used in therapy to kind of assess a support system of an individual. But the boat, it's kind of divided into different boxes, right? And those boxes represents different people, and it basically represents different parts of your support system in your environment and in your life. Different people in your life, they take up a box. You have your family, you have your cousins, you have your distant family, your close friends, your best friends, acquaintances, work friends, gym friends, your relationship, your partner. All of those components, they make up a support system. That's why I say you really need to be diversifying the network of people that is in your life and not just center your entire life around one man. Because if your entire boat is that one man, and if that relationship breaks down, you're not going to be able to stay afloat. Whereas if you have loads of people, if you diversify the different people that you spend time with and how they meet your needs, if one small part of the boat breaks apart, the entire boat will still stay afloat because you have all the other people in your life that acts as your support system. Once you compartmentalize your needs and how those needs will be met by different people in your life, again, like your standards for romantic relationship will also skyrocket because your needs are already fulfilled by different people in your life anyway. You don't really have a need for a boyfriend. You don't really have a need for a man to be in your life if they are not meeting any standards. If they're just like bare minimum, you don't really have a need for them to be in your life because you already have all the other people that are in your life that already meet your needs. So when you actually compartmentalize your needs, when you actually have a man in your life, it will not be because I need them to fulfill certain needs in my life. It will be because I choose for them to be in my life because they actually add value into my life that other people who already fulfill my other needs cannot provide. Men can smell desperation from a mile away. So if you actually have different people in your life that will meet your needs in different ways, you will not come across as desperate, and that will only make you that much more desirable. The third and last reason to boy craziness is that relationship hoppers, they don't know how to deal with emotional difficulties or emotional issues or insecurities by themselves. Boy crazy relationship hoppers are so centered around men because they literally don't know how to cope with a heartbreak, or they don't know how to cope with issues within themselves without creating constant distractions for themselves. I've met some of these people in my life and they're just physically not capable of being alone or single. Like, just the thought of being alone with their own thoughts is just something so unfathomable to them. Like, they just literally cannot deal with it. Generally, they lack a lot of introspection and self-awareness. They tend to not think about or reflect on what actually happened in their last relationship and what they can actually learn from the last relationship before moving on to an entirely new person. If you're this type of person, I think that going to therapy would really benefit you, because having someone there listening to your thoughts, like, so that you don't have to be alone, like someone is there there to guide you and aid you, like going through and processing all those difficult emotions, because they are gonna come out. You think that if I just ignore my heartbreak, if I just ignore my difficult emotions and just create a distraction for myself and just move on to the next person, the same issues that happened in your last relationship is going to appear in your next relationship and the next one if you don't actually address it. Those emotions, they need to be processed. You cannot just sweep them under the rug and assume that everything's gonna be fine. Have some hobbies, develop a stronger sense of self so that not your entire sense of self is revolved around having a boyfriend. You know those girls that make having a boyfriend their entire personality? Like sometimes this is what it's giving. And I think that again, like I would prescribe some hobbies and some interests so that you actually have a sense of self that is not stemming from a relationship, because that's not a sense of self. And if you feel intimidated by going to therapy, I think that journaling is also a really good idea. Having your thoughts written down, physically laid out for you is never a bad thing, like because that will increase your mental clarity and it'll be so much easier for you to identify what your behavioral patterns are. Check in with yourself to see, what do I need? Like, do I need a break from all these men? Because distraction is never the answer. These things always have a way of creeping up to you later on in life, so it's just easier if you deal with it now than if you just sweep everything under the rug and then at some point when life it reaches to a breaking point, you don't want it to reach that point. Most importantly, you guys need to be having girlfriends who don't center their lives around men, because those girlfriends, they will give you a really good example. They'll be like really good role models for you, and they will be someone who helps you and guide you along the way. So I really hope that you guys have taken something useful from this video, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you're here anyway, you might as well just subscribe to me, turn on the notification bell so you can be notified every single time I upload a video. Like this video and comment down below. Let me know what sort of videos you want me to do next. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. I'll see you next time. Bye!